Manifestation is bullshit. Manifestation is a lie. Mars, what are you talking about? Your whole company is called Manifest with Mars. So are you a scam? What are you talking about? Oh, I'm excited to make this video because I love, a lot of the new age terminology, all this stuff, but there's so many misconceptions. And because reality is a paradox, many things that are true are simultaneously false at the same time. A lot of aspects of reality contradict itself, which is, it is a feature of reality, not a bug. But I want to talk about a lot of the misconceptions of manifestation because, yes, I know I'm saying here that manifestation is a lie. It's not a complete lie. That's not really what I'm saying, but there are many misunderstandings about what manifestation is and how it works, right? And we're also going to touch on law of assumption. We're going to touch on a lot of different spiritual aspects of life that, do get misunderstood. So let's just start at the root. Manifestation. What is manifestation? First of all, because a lot of people think that manifestation is, kind of what you create, what you bring in. I'm going to manifest a better relationship, a better job opportunity, more money. I'm manifesting money right now. I hear that one all the time, right? What goes over people's head is you are a manifestation. Your life is a manifestation. Reality as we see it in the physical, this is a manifestation, right? This is consciousness manifesting as always, right? And so for you to be here right now in this 3D reality is because you have manifested yourself into this reality. But, you know, in all of this, it comes down to identity. Check out my video, What is Spiritual Enlightenment? Right? Because it depends what you define yourself as. Because, see, if you're operating from a level of ego, of believing that you are the physical body, you are the mind, you are the meat suit, that's you, then of course, then you think that, you're gonna manifest your money, you're gonna manifest all these external things and not realize that you, my friend, are the ultimate manifestation. Everything is manifested, and you are attracting certain aspects of reality into you, but also on some level you're allowing it because you're really not even doing anything at the highest levels. You are just realizing everything already is. All your manifestations already exist. um, the desire in your heart works as a compass, right? Guiding you towards what is already in alignment for you, right? The problem is that we as humans, we tend to numb ourselves. It's a cultural thing too, right? With substance abuse, with distractions of all kinds, entertainment, drama, all of these things we use because, of course, with becoming more aware, it's allowing everything all at once to come in, and everything all at once isn't all the stuff that you define as good. So part of what could be blocking you manifesting is an avoidance of pain. When you avoid pain, you avoid suffering, counterintuitively, you actually create so much more of it. Because, you know, when you let yourself feel everything, that's when pure being can come. But see, we numb ourselves to that. But when you numb yourself from the negative emotions, you also numb yourself to the positive. So a lot of the times when we're feeling lost, we don't know how to manifest, or we don't know what we're manifesting unconsciously, because again, you're always manifesting. You manifested this video unconsciously, unless you sat there and were like, please, I need a sign, give me a sign. Well, then, in some level, you consciously created this. But to what depth do you understand that you manifested me? You manifested the internet and humans and all of existence. From what level of consciousness are you manifesting? Because to be manifesting again is to fall into the illusion of self, because then you realize at one level you're manifesting, and on another level you're just realizing that everything is a manifestation and is your manifestation. And if you realize yourself as consciousness, as the only consciousness that can be, then you realize that you would have only manifested the greatest thing for yourself. Like, why? If you have infinite power, infinite consciousness, infinite intelligence, why would you manifest anything for yourself except the highest good? Right? um, but you have to move then with the assumption that the thing beyond yourself is infinitely intelligent, does have the highest good in mind, because then you can question why the suffering, why the pain, right? Why why go through everything that you are numbing, that you're running from? If this is the ultimate manifestation, Mars, if this is peak, then why did I put myself then through all this trauma? Why did I have this problem in my relationship? Why does this person not love me? Why did my family do this to me? Why did I experience this in school? Why am I dealing with this health problem? Why do I have all these problems? Why am I struggling with money? If I manifested everything to be perfect in some way, um, you know, you might assume that there's no answers to that question, to those questions, but are you sure of that? Because you have to sit in there long enough for the answers to come to you. This is another reason why meditation is so important. I have that video too. Check that out. The importance of meditation. Why is meditation so important? Because you're giving yourself the space to receive the answer. Right? There's so much to be understood and so much to be said, and a lot of understanding is implicit, right? It's not explicit. You can't verbalize it. I can't put it into words for you, because we're talking about something infinite. And I'll use the example of infinity for you to show you what I mean by implicit versus explicit understanding, right? Because infinity is one of those things that you cannot understand explicitly. So, if I was going to sit here and explain mathematics to you, you could understand that one is a separate from another one, and now we can add 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? Okay, cool. 2 plus 2 equals 4. All that logically adds up. I can explain all of that to you explicitly. But see, I will never get to the point where I can explain infinity. I can just say, yeah, it never ends. But that's not the same thing as becoming conscious of infinity, which only happens implicitly. If you imagine a little kid and you're explaining numbers to them, mathematics, the little kid might add up, okay, 1 plus 1, what's 1 plus 1? 2, he's excited to figure out. He doesn't know yet, right? 3, 4, oh, what's after all this? And you get to 100. What's after 100? 1,000. Kid wants to know, what's after 1,000? 10,000. 100,000, a million, a billion, a trillion, quadrillion. And the kid's like, what's next? What's after? What's after? And at a certain point, you'll notice it just clicks, right? Then this, again, in your lifetime, in your childhood, at some point, this happened to you, right? An implicit understanding of, oh, this goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. This doesn't end, right? But see, you're never going to count to infinity, but you have the epiphany that, oh, infinity is. It exists. You discover it. It was, right? So manifestation, my issue with it is so many people sit there and they're like, I'm going to imagine this, or it's like, whatever I want, it just is that way. And they waste a lot of time doing this because they're not meeting the universe halfway, and they're not realizing how everything is a manifestation already. The law of attraction, it's like, something resonates with you in your heart. Yes, okay, there's a lot that I want in this life to accomplish or do or see, and those were put in my heart. But if I sit in this room and waste my time and take substances and, just kind of willy-nilly just waste my time and watch TV and eat junk food and do whatever, because I just assume, well, it's like, see, there's an entitlement that comes with that. And this entitlement will ruin the manifestation, because the manifestation, you're manifesting, you're always manifesting, consciously or unconsciously, but on some level, you're operating on two levels. Like I said, you're operating on the absolute, you're operating in consciousness, but you are also operating on the human egoic level. And there's no separate, there's no avoiding that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a level of consciousness. It's realizing, okay, I exist on these two levels. On the absolute level, sure, I made reality perfect in the way that I want, and like also everything that I want. That's where a lot of this logic comes from, right? Like, where if I just sit here, it's like, it will all happen for me if I just believe. But see, on the human level, you need to meet it halfway. You can't just expect it to fall, right? An example that I like is a story of this guy prayed to God every day. Pray to the angels. Please, angels, please, God, I want to win the lottery. Please help me win the lottery. And every day when he would wake up, he'd pray, please, God, today, please help me win the lottery. And before bed, God, please just help me win the lottery. Please, please, please. And this goes on for weeks. He's like, why, God? Why do you hate me? I just want to win the lottery, please. And then one day he's outside, he's praying to win the lottery, and the clouds open up. And an angel comes down from the heavens, and he puts himself right in his face, and he goes, buy a lottery ticket. But you get what I'm saying? Like, there's you laugh at that, it seems obvious, but it's incredible how many people are praying to win the lottery, their version of it, but they're not buying the ticket. They're praying for it. Ah, man, I want a better job, but they're not looking. I want money, but they're not learning. They're not growing. I want a better relationship, but they're not doing the shadow work on themselves. They're not willing to put in the effort and the work that it takes so that the universe can meet you halfway. Because yes, certain things are out of your control. Certain things do require faith. Certain things cannot be done through willpower alone, right? And that's what we call luck or divine intervention or all this stuff. Of course. But at the same time, the paradox here being is there's a lot that's within your control, and how much of what's in your control are you actually taking responsibility for and control of? And how much are you just, using new age spirituality to not do anything, to be lazy, to say, oh, well, the universe, I just manifest it. I just want it. My pure desire is enough to create the reality I want. My passion is enough. But it's not. Because if it was, you would have it already. You wouldn't be watching this video. You would already have everything. You would have all the money you want, the relationship you want. You would have the business you want, the family, whatever it is that you want to create, whatever it is you want to manifest, you would already have it if that was enough, because you just want it, and so it's so, right? But why don't you? And also, for more proof, look at your friends and family. They all want stuff too. Their heart's in alignment with certain things that haven't manifested in their life. Why is this? So this is why I come back full circle to the title of the video. That manifestation is a lie. Manifestation is bullshit, right? But there's nuance to what I'm saying, because it's not that simple. Of course, I believe in manifestation to some degree. That's what I teach. And part of me teaching this is teaching what it actually is and how it really works, right? It does work. You can create the life that you want, but it's not as easy as people make it out to be. It's not as simple as people make it out to be. It's a very nuanced process, and it takes a lot of growth and self-reflection to embody, the manifestation of who you want to be, right? Because it's not also just what you want. A lot of people think they need to have the stuff to do the things that it would take them to become the person that they want to become. But because they don't have the things that they need, they can't do what it takes to become that person. But that logic is backwards entirely, right? You need to become the person that you want to be on the inside, internally. You need to align yourself with, your most authentic self, the person that you desire to be, the person that is in your heart, in your soul, right? Who you came here to be. You can't wait to have what that person is. You become that person, and when you become that person, naturally, you do the things that that person would do. And now that you're doing the things that that person would do, naturally, as a byproduct of being that person and doing the things that that person would do, you would have the things that they have. But you're waiting to be this happy, successful person because you don't have the things that a happy, successful person would be. And you got the whole thing backwards, right? Sometimes manifestation is like the chicken and the egg, and what came first? My want for it or the thing itself and all of this, and it can be paradoxical. This stuff is really beyond words. There's an art to putting it into words, which is my art. This is what I love to do. I like taking these abstract concepts, contemplating them, sitting with them, meditating with them, working to embody them, stumbling, hitting a wall, questioning why, moving forward again, and finding more and more clever ways to put this into words so that it can be communicated. Because this is tricky stuff to communicate. Because it's happening as an abstraction. It's happening in the ether, in the 5D, in the non-physical realm of reality, right? So this is where it does tie into spirituality, right? This is where meditation helps. This is where understanding what enlightenment is helps. This is where growing and learning and pushing yourself and healing, calming your nervous system, all this stuff, it's so important to manifest. But also, who is the one manifesting? Right? Who are you fundamentally? Because if you can't answer that, there's no, I don't want to say there's no hope, because you will manifest. Again, you're manifesting all the time, consciously or unconsciously. It's just how conscious are you of what you're creating, right? And this is an invitation to wherever you are on that scale to step into that next level of consciousness, because there's always another level. There's always a next level. I don't care how conscious you are. There's an infinite depth to consciousness, to awareness, to reality. Wherever you are, however deep you've gone, how much autonomy do you have? How much sovereignty do you have? How in alignment and in control, I use control very loosely here, are you of your thoughts, of your emotions, of your surroundings, of the life you're creating, right? Because there's always another level. What are your unconscious behaviors? What are you doing unconsciously? And how is that contributing to what you're manifesting? Because again, you're always manifesting. And it's not always good. Well, again, depends on what level, right? To your ego's perspective, it's not always good what you're manifesting, especially when you're moving unconsciously. And I just like, this video is mostly a warning for those people that I see who are using manifestation as an excuse to just be absolutely lazy. They just don't want to challenge their worldview. They don't want to challenge their belief systems. They're not ready to go into the next level. They're not willing to put in what it takes. So they use manifestation as this kind of delusional, like, just escapism, right? And I want to protect you from that. Because if you're watching this, that's not for you. You're meant to really manifest your heart's desires. But I'm telling you, it's not easy, even though it will be natural, because you're embodying yourself, right? So it will be a natural process. It will be a process that is very fulfilling to do when you move along with it, but it will be nuanced. Every once in a while it will be confusing. The paradoxes will hit you, right? And it's important to just keep going on ahead. Keep working towards it. Keep believing in yourself. Believe in those manifestations. This is where a lot of the stuff is good, but it's got to be balanced with grounded work. Are you showing up? Are you doing your part in actualizing those manifestations or not? And I can't answer that question for you. Only you can answer that question. This is where, yeah, having a coach can help. Someone who holds you accountable. Someone who's going to make sure you're on it when you fall off, right? Because your friends and family aren't really good at doing that. If you look around, most people aren't living that way, so they can barely hold themselves accountable. So for you to expect someone else to hold you accountable, like, you can't. You got yourself. If you need help, I'm here. I've released programs and continue to release programs and do one-on-one coaching. If you want to work with me directly, you can message me. But at the end of the day, even working with me is me helping you get to the point where you are in alignment with yourself. So you don't need me. You don't need videos. You don't need anything else, because the power is within you. And a lot of this then sounds cliche, right? But these cliches come from a point. This isn't just me parroting stuff, right? I'm not reading this off of a prompt. I didn't memorize this before the video. Before I made this video, I barely knew what I was going to say at all. But it comes to me. It flows. I'm in a flow state, right? This video manifested from my pure intention and from yours, because ultimately we are one, right? And to what depth do you understand that you manifested this? And I manifested you to receive it. So that is my message today. Thank you guys so much for being here and spending this time with me. I love you all so much. If you like the video, please like it. Subscribe to this channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys watching. And until next time, my friends, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, and stay connected. Peace out.